Hello. So we are going to discuss today on the words by Saint Kabir that goes like Kami Krodhi Lalchi इनसे भक्ति ना होए भक्ति करे कोई सूरमा जाति वर्ण कुंठ होए. So here the terms or the qualities Kami, Krodhi and Lalchi, that is someone who is extremely selfish, someone who is indulging in their lower level of desires, or someone who is extremely always in the state of anger. They will never be able to reach the pedestal of bhakti, which is a devotion, the quality of devotion. And this devotion, only a person who is courageous, a fighter, will be able to achieve, because at the other side or the cost of this devotion could be losing his clan, his identity, his community and even his family. So why does Kabir Sahib say so? When you look at it, this is a very deep statement, and when you visualize this in terms of any deep act that you have done, we'll go in detail as to explore what bhakti really is and what these three qualities that Kabir Sahib has mentioned to us, what they are really. Kami, Krodhi, Lalchi. This is not describing a certain person only. Here Kabir Sahib is mentioning it in terms of describing a particular person. But when you look at it, it is a state of being for every one of us. We have a potential. There are times in our lives when we have seen us indulging ourselves in any of these extremities. And it is not something to be disgusted upon. That is very bad, because the human body, when it is born, it has a potential for all of these things. It is not born devoid of all these extremities. They are called as Vruttis, as in something which can be exhibited by us. We have the potential. The body is in a way designed to exhibit these things, the body and the mind, and at the exhibition of any potential trigger or any sort of stimulus, we respond in such fashions. That is through anger, through selfishness, greed, and even sexuality. And it is a big disclaimer at the very start that these things are not bad as such, but in extremities or when done unconsciously, that's why the person gets termed as Kami or Krodhi or Lalchi, because they do not have a control over it. So this is the person that the saint is referring to over here. And what he says in the very next sentence is very instructive. What he says in the very first sentence is very instructive as to how he says that a person who is lost, who gets triggered and is losing his sense, his ability to be a sakshi, an observer who is not taking sides in this struggle, is lost, and she is not able to become a person capable of indulging in reverence, bhakti. What is bhakti? Bhakti, reverence, is something that you indulge in knowing that you have tried everything else. You have used your mental capacities. You have tried to understand all the mysteries, all the problems, and you have fallen down, you have not been able to achieve that understanding. And then once you see that there is a glimmer of hope, there is a possibility, you know a way that maybe would take you away from all the trials and tribulations, a place which is not quite afar but rather a way of being that will make you unlock a lot of secrets. It will make you tread towards, although through struggles and not foregoing the way of humble and honest work, it will make you reach somewhere through which you have a better understanding. Bhakti is just following that path. You see that something that you are working on is in exchange working for you, working on you, and it is opening a lot of doors for you. Bhakti is following that path, not getting distracted by the problems that come your way, which you know are short-lived or are something which are trying to stop you from doing the good work that you have been indulging in. That is Bhakti. And in the very next sentence, he goes more in detail. Bhakti करे कोई सूरमा, जाति वरण सब खोए. It takes a lot of courage to head on this path. The path of truth, the path of a seeker, the path of love cannot be done by the faint-hearted. The person who does not have faith cannot last long on this path. He will fall down, he will get distracted, and he will lose the will to follow this. He or she will be easily set aside by the norms and standards of society, by his own ill will towards doing honest work. There is a lot of resistance that comes to a person when they are trying to do something good. Because when someone tries to do something good, they face a lot of resistance, not just externally. You have people questioning you, you have people not wanting to do something good because that means that many of their businesses which depended upon you consuming the wrong things will collapse. But that is not the start of it. The start of it is you fighting against yourselves because you are conditioned in a way from the things that you have been fed, the struggles you face by going on the right path will make you question everything. And only the person who is set upon, who is not afraid of losing the society's backing, losing their clan, their community for something which is inherently good for themselves and by extension for everyone, will be able to walk on this. That is the courage it asks. That is the foresight, that is the faith that you have to walk by. You say that saints or people of great wisdom started as being the most opposed. They have had to abandon their communities, their families, their wealth and head out of the way, head out of the society in order to just be able to think in the same way and to survive. That is the path, the struggles that one has to be ready to go through, to stand for what they think is right and which has arisen out of a genuine, honest inquiry. Without this search, without this asking, without this need, without a will, a good aspiration to get a positive change in themselves and in their society, none of this is possible. And if this does not require courage, what else does? Thanks.